What do you know about the Book of Enoch?
The ancient book of Enoch is a book that was quite popular during the first 700 years of church history, but then faded from sight. Nobody republished it. It disappeared until the book of Enoch was rediscovered in the Ethiopian region of Abyssinia in the 1700s.
The Book of Enoch unpacks what walking with the powerful ones meant and unpacks it in astonishing detail.
For millennia, scholars and seekers have searched for answers, delving into ancient texts and legends in pursuit of lost knowledge. And now, in a remarkable twist of fate, scientists claim to have uncovered a discovery of biblical proportions.
The Book of Enoch says that Enoch gave prophecy.
After 2,000 years of assumption and mystery, the lost book of the Bible, rumored to hold secrets beyond imagination, has finally come to light. But what secrets does this ancient manuscript hold? And how could its discovery reshape our understanding of the past? Join us as we embark on an extraordinary journey to uncover the truth behind the long-lost book of the Bible hidden for 2,000 years, the Forbidden Chronicles. The Book of Enoch is an ancient and captivating scripture that has long been excluded from the traditional Bible familiar to many. This remarkable collection of writings delves into the most unusual and spine-chilling tales about the heavens, angels, and the hidden mysteries of the universe. Named after Enoch, a prophet mentioned in the Bible who had a unique connection with God, this book carries a deep significance. Unlike ordinary humans, Enoch is believed to have been taken up into the heavens by God, bypassing death. The Book of Enoch is divided into several sections, each brimming with its own set of astonishing stories and teachings. The oldest part, called the Book of the Watchers, describes a group of rebellious angels who descend to earth, marry human women, and teach humanity forbidden knowledge. This act leads to the birth of the Nephilim, giant beings who cause chaos, prompting God to send the Great Flood to cleanse the earth. Another section, the Book of Parables, is notable for its divine prophecies and visions of heaven and hell. It introduces the concept of a heavenly Son of Man who will bring justice and righteousness, a theme that some scholars believe influenced early Christian thought. The astronomical book details Enoch's journeys through the universe, offering an intricate calendar system and descriptions of the movements of heavenly bodies. This part reveals a deep understanding of astronomy and the universe, which is interesting considering its ancient origins. The Dream Visions section recounts Enoch's prophetic dreams about the history of the world, from the creation to the final judgment. This part is rich with symbolic imagery and allegorical narratives that provide insight into the ancient worldview. Lastly, the Epistle of Enoch contains exhortations, blessings, and curses, emphasizing the importance of righteousness and the impending divine judgment. The Book of Enoch is so old that it dates back about 2,500 years ago, making it one of the earliest apocalyptic texts. This means it was written a long time before Jesus was born. Scholars think that different parts of the book were written at different times, starting around the 3rd century BC. Despite its age, the Book of Enoch has played a key role in history. It was particularly important to certain Jewish communities in ancient times. It was widely read and revered by groups such as the Essenes, who are believed to have authored the Dead Sea Scrolls. Although it was not included in the primary Jewish or Christian Bibles, its influence can be seen in many other religious texts and ideas. The Book of Enoch used to be a significant text across various religious traditions. Early Christian leaders, known as church fathers, often read and discussed this fascinating book. In Ethiopia, it held a unique place by becoming part of the Bible for the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, making it particularly special there. However, for most other Jewish and Christian groups, the Book of Enoch was not included in their official scriptures. Despite this, it still captured the interest of many people because it offered a unique perspective on the universe and divinity. The book is filled with powerful and strange stories about angels, the heavens, and the end of the world, which have interested readers for centuries. Enoch, the supposed author of this book, is a mysterious figure in the Bible. He was Noah's great-grandfather, the man famous for building the ark. The Bible says that Enoch walked with God, and one day, God took him away. This means Enoch did not die like other people, but was taken directly to heaven. In the Book of Enoch, he describes his incredible journey into the heavens. Enoch saw many amazing and terrifying things, such as angels, heavenly places, and divine secrets. This journey gave him special knowledge about the universe and God's plans. Enoch is undoubtedly one of the most fascinating figures in religious history. One of the most intriguing parts of the Book of Enoch is a section called the Book of the Watchers. This part reveals eerie tales about angels and their interactions with humans. The Book of the Watchers starts with the introduction of a unique group of angels, known as the Watchers. These angels were originally assigned to observe the earth and its inhabitants. However, they did much more than just watch. These angels abandoned their heavenly abode and descended to earth, defying their divine instructions. The narrative of the Book of the Watchers delves into the chaos that ensued when these angels broke the celestial rules. Their actions led to significant turmoil for humanity. But who exactly are the Watchers? According to the book, the Watchers were a special cohort of angels who chose to reside on earth rather than remain in heaven. Their leader was named Samyaza, and he, along with 200 other angels, was captivated by the beauty of the women on earth and fell in love with them. They desired to be with these women, even though it was against the rules. These angels made a pact to disobey together so they wouldn't feel alone in their decision. They took human wives and had children with them. This was very bad because angels weren't supposed to mix with humans like this. It went against what the divine order commanded. The children born from angels and human women were called the Nephilim. These Nephilim were not like regular humans at all. They were giants with incredible strength. Their existence caused many problems on Earth. The Nephilim weren't just big. They were also incredibly powerful and often mean. They brought chaos and violence, making life hard for regular people. Their presence caused suffering and corruption everywhere. They served as a constant reminder of the forbidden actions of the angels. The angels' decision to have children led to severe consequences. God saw what they did and was very angry. The Watchers, mysterious beings, shared forbidden knowledge with humans, revealing secrets about magic weapons and other things they weren't supposed to know. This caused humans to become even more corrupt because they were doing things they shouldn't. As a result of their great wrongdoing, God decided to punish the Watchers. Enoch was chosen to deliver God's message to them. He warned the Watchers about their severe punishment for disobeying God's rules. The angels were then bound and locked away in a dark prison until the final judgment. Their leader, Samyaza, and the others faced God's anger for what they had done. The Nephilim, the offspring of angels and humans, also faced consequences. Because of their existence, which disrupted the natural order, God decided they couldn't remain on Earth. So, a colossal flood, known as Noah's flood, was sent to cleanse the earth of these giant beings and the corruption they spread. This flood wiped out the Nephilim and many other creatures, basically resetting the balance of the world. Ancient revelations and future visions. The Book of Enoch unveils captivating mysteries about the origins of our world. According to this ancient text, there's a rich variety of events surrounding the formation of heaven and earth. The Book of Enoch paints a picture of a vast universe with multiple heavens, each inhabited by divine beings. Rather than a simple creation by a single deity over a few days, it suggests a grand collaboration among various celestial entities. These celestial beings, ranging from angels to even more powerful entities, played specific roles in shaping the cosmos. Some were tasked with governing the movements of stars, the radiant power of the sun, and the gentle pull of the moon. Others were responsible for controlling natural forces like the winds and weather patterns, ensuring the harmony of the universe. What's fascinating is that these beings, according to Enoch, worked together to maintain cosmic order. They were like cosmic engineers, overseeing different aspects of creation to ensure everything functioned harmoniously. Furthermore, the Book of Enoch provides interesting accounts of visions granted to Enoch, a righteous figure. Because of his virtue, he was granted insight into the future. Enoch witnessed not only the beauty of creation, but also prophetic glimpses of cataclysmic events to come. He foresaw great floods, devastating fires, and other apocalyptic disasters, offering a unique perspective on the fate of the world. The Book of Enoch offers numerous fascinating revelations about humanity's future. Enoch was shown visions of what will happen to people, revealing that those who do wrong will face severe punishment. One major revelation is the concept of a final judgment, where everyone will be judged by God. Good people will be rewarded, while those who have done bad things will be punished. This idea is crucial as it outlines the ultimate fate of humanity. Another significant revelation in the Book of Enoch is the promise of a new heaven and earth. After the final judgment and the end of all bad things, the world will be transformed into a new, wonderful place. This renewed world will be filled with happiness, and only good people will live there. The Book of Enoch emphasizes that this divine judgment is not limited to those who lived during Enoch's time. It applies to everyone who has ever lived and will live in the future. This judgment will occur at the end of the world, underscoring the timeless and universal nature of its message. In this judgment, God will look closely at how people live their lives. Those who followed God's rules and were kind to others will be rewarded. They will go to a joyful place filled with happiness. On the other hand, those who ignore God's laws and hurt others will face severe punishment. This punishment will be terrible and will last forever. The Book of Enoch teaches us that our actions have consequences. If we do good deeds, we will be rewarded with a good destiny. However, if we do bad things, we will face an evil destiny. The book also gives us hope for the future. It tells us that even though there will be tough times and great disasters, there will eventually be a new beginning. This new beginning will be a wonderful place where only good things happen. Additionally, the Book of Enoch reassures us that we are not alone. There is a higher power, God, who is watching over us and will make things right. This belief can help us feel safe and encourage us to lead good lives. Long ago, according to the Bible, there's a fascinating tale that explains how everything began. It's not just a story, it's a profound narrative about the dawn of humanity and the power of choice. Adam and Eve, created in the likeness of God, were given the freedom to follow God's commands or to rebel against them. In this ancient narrative, a cunning serpent enters the scene, often symbolizing temptation or deceit. Imagine a lush garden where this drama unfolds, where every choice carries immense weight. This story isn't just about right and wrong, it's about the very fabric of human existence. It delves into themes of obedience, responsibility, and the consequences of our actions. When Adam and Eve were faced with the choice to disobey, everything changed. Their expulsion from the Garden of Eden marked a pivotal moment in human history. It meant that humanity would now experience hardships like suffering, laborious work, and mortality. This transition from paradise to the harsh realities of life is a powerful symbol of the human condition. What's interesting is how this story has transcended time and become deeply ingrained in cultures worldwide. It has shaped moral codes and influenced art, literature, and even legal systems. The tale of Adam and Eve continues to provoke thought and discussion about what is right and wrong, making it one of the most enduring stories ever told. For a long time, this story has been crucial in helping us understand why humans exist, what good and evil mean, and how God is connected to the world. It's not just an old tale. Think of it like a fundamental story that shapes the beliefs of different religions, guides their actions, and influences what they consider right or wrong. Even though various groups may interpret it differently, the core of the story remains unchanged. It's all about showing how powerful God is, emphasizing our responsibility for our actions, and highlighting the balance between spirituality and our daily lives. This story impacts people's beliefs, how they live, and their perspectives on humanity all around the world. The tale of evolution. Science offers a different perspective on the origins of everything compared to religious texts like the Book of Enoch or the modern Bible. Instead of relying on stories, science embraces the theory of evolution, which presents a comprehensive view of how life became so varied on Earth. Unlike religious narratives, this theory is grounded in observable evidence, such as fossils, animal studies, and our understanding of genetics. According to the theory of evolution, life began with simple cells and gradually evolved over a vast period through a process called natural selection. This concept, proposed by Charles Darwin in the 19th century, suggests that organisms change gradually over time, adapting to their environments. What's interesting about evolution is that it suggests all living things share a common ancestry, connecting every organism on Earth in a vast, intricate web of life. All living organisms trace back to a single ancient ancestor. Picture it like a vast family tree where every species, from the tiniest insect to the largest mammal, shares a common origin. Over unimaginable periods, millions upon millions of years, small changes accumulated, shaping the incredible diversity of life we see today. These changes aren't just visible in the creatures themselves, but also encoded in their very DNA, the genetic blueprint of life. When we peer into the code of different species, we uncover a story of shared ancestry. It's like reading a history book written in molecules. Consider embryos, the early stages of development in various animals. By comparing how embryos form and grow in different species, scientists gain insights into their evolutionary relationships. Surprisingly, embryos of different species often exhibit striking similarities, reflecting their shared heritage. At the heart of evolution is natural selection, nature's way of favoring traits that improve an organism's chances of survival and reproduction. Whether it's the long neck of a giraffe or the camouflage of a chameleon, advantageous traits spread through populations over generations. Genetic studies provide concrete evidence supporting evolutionary theory. By examining the DNA of diverse species, scientists unravel genetic similarities that hint at common ancestry. It's like solving a puzzle where genes hold the clues to evolutionary connections between species. This understanding not only reveals how life has changed over time, but also how it's intricately interconnected. Every living being, from bacteria to humans, shares a journey through time, adapting and diversifying along the way. And here's a fascinating point. Believing in evolution doesn't negate beliefs about the origin of the universe. Evolution explains the diversity of life once it's begun, while theories about the universe's origin delve into entirely different realms of science and philosophy. Scientists are fascinated by evolution, seeing it as a logical process that explains much about life. However, they also acknowledge its limits. It doesn't account for the origin of the entire universe. This poses a profound mystery, one that science hasn't fully unraveled. Instead of venturing into the unknown, scientists focus on what they can observe and verify with concrete evidence. They steer clear of the vast mysteries beyond their grasp, concentrating on what they can understand and measure. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the heart of the Sahara Desert, an ancient legend whispered among scholars and treasure hunters alike, the tale of the lost book of the Bible. It was said to contain the final teachings of Christ, words that could change the course of humanity. Dr. Emily Hughes, a renowned archaeologist, had dedicated her life to unearthing this myth. Skeptics dismissed her, but Emily was undeterred. On a blistering summer's day, Emily's team unearthed a stone slab inscribed with cryptic symbols. Deciphering the code led them to a cave, concealed beneath centuries of sand. With bated breath, Emily entered, her flashlight piercing the darkness. Inside, she found a dusty, leather-bound manuscript, the lost book of the Bible. Carefully, Emily opened it, revealing pages of delicate parchment inscribed with golden ink. The first passage she read spoke of love, unity, and a vision of a future where humanity thrived together. As she continued, she realized these teachings were profound, bridging gaps between all major religions and philosophies, hinting at a universal truth. News of the discovery spread like wildfire. Religious leaders, scientists, and philosophers flocked to Emily's camp, eager to glimpse the ancient text. Debates and discussions ensued, yet a common theme emerged. The teachings emphasized compassion, understanding, and peace. The world watched as Emily presented the book to the United Nations. This text is not just a relic of the past, it's a beacon for our future, she declared. Her words resonate globally, sparking movements for social justice, environmental stewardship, and global cooperation. In the years that followed, humanity saw a renaissance of empathy and collaboration. Nations worked together to solve crises, communities rebuilt with compassion, and individuals found renewed purpose in the teachings of the lost book. What are your thoughts about these scientists' discovery of the lost hidden book of the Bible? Let us have your opinions in the comment below. The secrets of the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch is like a treasure chest of ancient Jewish writings, filled with mysterious tales that have fascinated scholars for centuries. It's named after Enoch, a fascinating figure mentioned in the Bible's early pages, particularly in Genesis. Experts believe that these texts weren't penned by one person, but were written by different authors over centuries, starting way back in the 3rd century BCE. Enoch, according to biblical accounts, was not your average great-grandpa. He's known for supposedly walking with God, and then mysteriously vanishing without experiencing death. The Book of Enoch goes beyond this brief mention in Genesis, portraying Enoch as a visionary who received divine insights into the universe's deepest mysteries. Imagine cosmic revelations about the very nature of creation, detailed accounts of angels, and even prophecies about humanity's destiny. This ancient book is like a library of ancient wisdom, divided into several intriguing sections. The most famous among them is the Book of the Watchers, which narrates a gripping story of angelic beings, known as Watchers or Grigori, making a rather unauthorized visit to Earth. These angels didn't just visit, they got pretty involved with human affairs, leading to some bizarre offspring, the Nephilim. The ancient book known as 1st Enoch, from chapter 72 to 82, delves into heavenly revelations about how the stars and planets move. It's like a very old astronomy book from Jewish tradition. Imagine, it talks about how the sun and the moon travel, and why seasons change in a year, all based on a solar calendar. In another part called the Book of Dream Visions, Enoch, the main character, has visions about what's going to happen in the future. He talks about the final judgment day when good and bad people will be judged. It's like he's seeing into the future and telling a story about it. Then there's the Epistle of Enoch, a special letter he wrote to his family and friends. In it, he gives them advice on how to live well and warns them about doing bad things. Enoch stresses how important it is to be smart and to follow what God says. He wants his loved ones to know how to make good choices and stay away from bad ones. People wrote the Book of Enoch for many reasons. One big reason was to teach others about God's message and to share important life lessons. It's like a guidebook that explains things like why good and bad things happen, what angels are, and what might come after people die. The Book of Enoch offered people a fresh way to see the world and understand what they believed about God's plans. It was significant for the Jewish community because it provided them with new insights during challenging periods, acting as a manual to grasp God's message and find solace in tough times. However, for many years, the Book of Enoch vanished from memory, leaving people wondering why it disappeared suddenly. The rediscovery of the Book of Enoch. Unfortunately, the Book of Enoch slowly disappeared from circulation because it wasn't considered important enough to be included in the official lists of significant texts for Jews or Christians. This meant that not many people read or studied it, causing its significance to fade away. Early Christian leaders didn't include it in the New Testament, and the Jewish community didn't deem it worthy of inclusion in their official book list. As a result, the Book of Enoch was forgotten, and its message remained largely unknown to many people. The rediscovery of the Book of Enoch is quite fascinating. For a long time, scholars had heard whispers about a lost book called First Enoch, but they couldn't locate it. It wasn't until the 19th century that they started to make headway. A Scottish traveler named James Bruce returned from Ethiopia in 1773 with 3 copies of the book. These Ethiopian manuscripts contained fragments of the First Enoch, including the Book of Enoch itself. Later, in the 20th century, even more complete copies of the Book of Enoch were unearthed among the Dead Sea Scrolls. Back in the 1940s, a remarkable discovery was made near the Dead Sea that shook the foundations of what people understood about ancient Jewish writings from the time of the Second Temple. Imagine stumbling upon dusty scrolls hidden in caves for centuries. These scrolls, known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, were like time capsules preserving texts that had been lost to the world for ages. Among these scrolls were not just a few dusty old documents, but a treasure collection containing nearly every book of the Hebrew Bible and various other Jewish texts. One of the most captivating finds was sections of a text called the Book of Enoch, including a significant portion known as the Complete Book of Watchers, or 1 Enoch 1-36. The discovery caused a sensation, igniting curiosity not only among scholars and theologians, but also capturing the imagination of regular folks. Suddenly, ancient mysteries were unfolding before people's eyes, thanks to translations and discussions that made these ancient texts more accessible than ever before. Delving deeper into the Book of Enoch itself, while it's traditionally attributed to the biblical figure Enoch, scholars suggest it wasn't the work of a single author, but a collaboration spanning centuries. The earliest parts of the book likely originated around the 3rd century BCE, a time of great change and turmoil in the ancient world. Later sections might have been penned as late as the 1st century CE, reflecting evolving beliefs and ideas. But why did these ancient writers feel compelled to pen the Book of Enoch? It's not just another ancient text. It falls into a fascinating genre called apocalyptic literature. Apocalyptic writings often feature dramatic visions or revelations about divine mysteries, the fate of the world, and cosmic upheavals, offering unique insights into ancient beliefs about the nature of existence and the divine plan. The book likely emerged during a period of deep contemplation on religious ideas, possibly during times of societal upheaval or spiritual introspection. It offered a fresh lens through which to view well-known stories from important religious texts, providing a new perspective on age-old narratives. Enoch's writings, it is believed, may have served to console people during challenging times by using vivid and sometimes unsettling visions to address the significant struggles faced by the Jewish community. What adds interest to the story is the idea of Enoch being taken by God, a departure that deviates from the usual fate of mortality depicted for others in the Bible. Enoch's ascent to a special place where God dwells is shrouded in mystery, as there are few specific details about this event. This ambiguity has fueled assumptions and wonder about Enoch's experience during this extraordinary event. In ancient Jewish folklore, particularly in the Book of Enoch and other apocryphal texts not included in the main Bible, there are additional fascinating details about Enoch's life on earth. According to these tales, Enoch was regarded as a visionary figure who had insights beyond those of ordinary people. He was said to have received direct messages from God, making him a unique and mysterious figure in religious lore. In the Book of Enoch, especially the part about the angelic watchers, things get even more bizarre than someone might imagine. Enoch tells us about a group of angels led by Samyaza, who descended to earth in this section of the book called the Book of the Watchers. These angels were called the Watchers, or Grigori. Initially, they were completely loyal to God, but then something changed. They became fascinated by human women and decided to abandon heaven to live among ordinary people. These angels who left heaven started having relationships with human women, and they had extraordinary children. These children weren't just ordinary, they were superhuman giants known as the Nephilim. Their presence on Earth caused a lot of problems. Enoch took on the role of mediator between these watchers and God. He received messages from God, foreseeing the consequences for these rebellious angels, thanks to the Book of Enoch and other writings about him, delving into wild visions and stories about the end of the world and angels getting involved in earthly affairs. The Book of Enoch gives people insight into what certain Jewish groups believed long ago. The Dead Sea Scrolls are ancient writings discovered in caves near the Dead Sea. Some parts of the Book of Enoch are among these scrolls, but not all. Even the parts found there are a bit different from other copies people have. It's like they saw these writings as important to preserve, yet they made changes to match their own beliefs. Considering the unsettling stories found in the Book of Enoch, someone might wonder if it would eventually be included in today's Bible, especially since it's now been rediscovered. There haven't been any official announcements about including it in the modern Bible by the scientists or biblical scholars who found it. However, there are traces of it in the modern Bible and some existing churches. For instance, it was directly quoted in the New Testament by Jude verses 14 to 15. And themes from the book are also referenced in Peter chapter 2 verse 1. Additionally, the first 36 chapters are considered scripture in the Ethiopian Coptic Church. According to the Oxford Dictionary of the Christian Church, most parts of the Book of Enoch are found in the Qumran fragments, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered. However, the chapters about the Messiah, from 37 to 71, are missing from these fragments. Whether this is true or not remains uncertain. People eagerly anticipate the fulfillment of the prophecies contained in the Book of Enoch. These prophecies speak of the Lord's return accompanied by his angels, the final judgment of both the wicked and the righteous, the eradication of evil, and the establishment of righteousness. Additionally, people await the deliverance of the righteous and their existence for 1,000 generations, the purification of the earth from oppression, and the elimination of corruption and suffering. What are your thoughts about the scientists who have just discovered the long-lost book of the Bible that was hidden away for 2,000 years? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below.